Welcome back to my channel USA's Dark Secrets. Stick around the end to check how Sarah cheats with her husband. The quiet suburban neighborhood seemed to radiate tranquility, where each house told stories of perfect families and happy lives. Amid this picturesque setting lived Alex and Sarah, a couple who had been married for over a decade. They had two children, Lily and Noah, whose laughter often echoed through the halls of their cozy home. To the outside world, they were the epitome of a perfect family, loving parents, a stable marriage, and a life many envied. But beneath the surface, cracks had begun to form in their seemingly solid foundation. Alex was a dedicated husband and father, working tirelessly to provide for his family. His best friend, Mark, had been a constant presence in their lives since college. Mark was charming, charismatic, and single, often joking about how he envied Alex's stable family life. The bond between Alex and Mark was unbreakable, or so Alex believed. Sarah, however, had grown restless in her role as a devoted wife and mother. The routine of her life felt suffocating, and she longed for something, anything, to reignite the spark she felt she had lost. Mark, with his easy charm and flirtatious nature, began to fill a void Sarah hadn't realized she had. What started as innocent conversations gradually turned into something more. Sarah found herself drawn to him in ways she couldn't explain, and Mark, sensing her vulnerability, didn't hesitate to exploit it. They began meeting in secret, their stolen moments filled with passion and guilt. Each encounter pulled Sarah further away from her family and deeper into a web of deceit. For months, Sarah and Mark carried on their affair, carefully hiding their betrayal from Alex and the children. But secrets have a way of unraveling, and Sarah's guilt began to manifest in her behavior. Alex noticed her growing distance, the late nights, and the hushed phone calls. His suspicions gnawed at him, but he chose to trust his wife, believing her explanations and dismissing his fears as paranoia. One evening, as Alex returned home earlier than expected, he found Sarah and Mark in an intimate moment. The sight shattered him, and the confrontation that followed was explosive. Sarah's infidelity was exposed, and the foundation of their marriage crumbled. Mark, unrepentant and smug, left the house, leaving Alex to pick up the pieces of his broken family. The revelation devastated Alex and the children. Lily and Noah, too young to fully understand the complexities of their parents' relationship, were deeply affected by the tension and sadness that now filled their home. Alex tried to shield them from the worst of it, focusing on being a stable presence in their lives. But Sarah's betrayal was far from over. As the months passed, Sarah and Mark's relationship continued, adding insult to injury. The neighborhood buzzed with gossip, and Alex struggled to maintain a sense of normalcy for his children. But the true shock came when Sarah, in a moment of anger during an argument with Alex, revealed a secret she had been keeping. Lily and Noah were not Alex's biological children. They were Mark's. The revelation was a bombshell that left Alex reeling. The betrayal cut deeper than he could have imagined, shaking him to his core. He demanded answers, and Sarah, perhaps out of guilt or spite, confessed everything. She admitted that her affair with Mark had started years earlier, before Lily was born, and had continued intermittently throughout their marriage. Alex's world crumbled as he realized the depth of Sarah's deceit and the extent to which Mark had infiltrated his life. The news sent shockwaves through their family and the community. Alex was faced with an impossible choice: to walk away from the children he had raised as his own, or to fight for custody despite the truth of their parentage. His love for Lily and Noah was unwavering, and he vowed to protect them from the fallout of their mother's actions. The legal battle that ensued was brutal. With Alex determined to secure a stable future for his children, Sarah's relationship with Mark, once fueled by passion and excitement, began to unravel under the weight of their actions. The reality of their choices and the damage they had caused became impossible to ignore. Mark, faced with the responsibility of being a father, started to withdraw, leaving Sarah to face the consequences of their betrayal alone. In the end, Alex emerged as the true hero of the story. Despite the pain and heartbreak, he remained steadfast in his love for Lily and Noah. He fought tirelessly to provide them with a stable and loving home, proving that true parenthood is about more than biology. Sarah, burdened by guilt and regret, watched from the sidelines as the life she had taken for granted slipped away. The story of Alex, Sarah, and Mark serves as a cautionary tale about the devastating consequences of betrayal and the strength it takes to rebuild after being broken. It's a reminder that trust, once shattered, is almost impossible to repair, and that the choices we make can have far-reaching and unintended consequences. For Alex, the journey was one of resilience and redemption, proving that even in the face of unimaginable pain, it's possible to find hope and healing. But the story didn't end there. The fallout of Sarah's actions continued to ripple through their lives in unexpected ways. Alex's determination to move forward was met with challenges he hadn't anticipated. The children, while deeply loved, began to grapple with questions of identity and belonging. Lily, the older of the two, started to notice the whispers at school and the way people looked at her differently. She confronted Alex one evening, tearfully asking if he would still love her even though she wasn't his biological daughter. Alex's heart broke as he reassured her that his love for her and Noah was unconditional, no matter what. Meanwhile, Sarah's guilt transformed into a desperate attempt to reconcile with her children. She tried to win back their trust through lavish gifts and grand gestures, but the wounds she had inflicted ran too deep. Her relationship with Mark disintegrated further as he distanced himself, unwilling to face the consequences of his actions. Mark's departure left Sarah isolated and alone, a stark contrast to the life she had envisioned when she first gave in to temptation. That Alex's own journey of healing led him to seek support from friends, family, and even therapy. He discovered a resilience within himself that he never knew existed. He began to rebuild his life piece by piece, focusing on creating a safe and nurturing environment for Lily and Noah. The three of them formed a bond that grew stronger with each passing day, rooted in love, trust, and a shared determination to overcome their pain. That as time went on, the community's judgment began to fade, replaced by admiration for Alex's strength and dedication. He became an inspiration to others, showing that even in the face of betrayal and heartbreak, it was possible to rise above and create something beautiful. His story became a beacon of hope for those who had experienced similar pain, proving that the human spirit is capable of incredible resilience. But life has a way of testing even the strongest among us. As Alex settled into his new routine, he encountered new challenges. Lily's emotional struggles became more pronounced as she grew older. The weight of her mother's betrayal and the truth about her parentage weighed heavily on her. She began to act out, her grades slipping, and her once bright demeanor dimming. Alex, recognizing her pain, doubled his efforts to provide her with the support she needed. He enrolled her in therapy and spent countless nights reassuring her that she was loved and valued. Noah, on the other hand, responded differently. He became fiercely protective of Alex, clinging to him as his anchor. His bond with his father grew stronger, but his anger towards Sarah was palpable. He refused to see her or speak to her, his young mind struggling to process the depth of her betrayal. Alex, torn between his love for his children and his desire to shield them from further pain, found himself grappling with how to navigate their complex emotions. Sarah, now living a life of solitude, began to reflect on her choices. The consequences of her actions had left her estranged from her children and isolated from the community. She sought solace in counseling, hoping to find a path to redemption. She wrote letters to Lily and Noah, pouring out her heart and apologizing for the pain she had caused. While Noah refused to read them, Lily found herself torn. Her longing for a mother's love conflicted with her anger and hurt. She read the letters in secret, each word stirring a mix of emotions she couldn't yet reconcile. One fateful day, Sarah decided to reach out to Alex, asking for a chance to make amends. She acknowledged the depth of her betrayal and expressed her desire to take responsibility for her actions. Alex, ever the compassionate soul, agreed to meet her, but only to discuss what was best for the children. Their meeting was tense, filled with unspoken pain and unresolved emotions. Sarah's plea for forgiveness was met with a firm yet empathetic response. Alex made it clear that while he could not forget her actions, he was willing to consider allowing her a chance to rebuild her relationship with Lily and Noah, but only if they were willing. The journey toward reconciliation was fraught with challenges. Sarah's attempts to connect with her children were met with resistance, particularly from Noah. Lily, however, began to soften, her heart torn between the memories of the mother she once adored and the reality of the woman who had caused so much pain. Their interactions were cautious and guarded, each step forward accompanied by setbacks and tears. It was a slow and arduous process, but Sarah remained determined to prove that she had changed. As the years passed, the family's dynamic continued to evolve. Alex remained the steadfast pillar of strength, guiding Lily and Noah through their struggles and celebrating their triumphs. He watched with pride as they grew into resilient and compassionate individuals, their experiences shaping them in profound ways. Sarah's presence in their lives remained limited, but the bridges she had begun to rebuild, though fragile, offered a glimmer of hope for the future. Mark, once a central figure in their lives, faded into obscurity. His role in the story became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the destructive power of selfishness and deceit. For Alex, Sarah, Lily, and Noah, the scars of the past remained, but they no longer defined them. Together, they forged a new path, one marked by resilience, forgiveness, and the unwavering strength of love.